going to be hearing from different people. There will be three parts. We'll be talking about training, H2O'Lyon training, first of all. Then we'll talk about the DOC H2O2 evenings. And then we'll go back to H2O'Lyon booster research. So to talk about training, so Barbara Belletti, who is in charge of projects, she's in charge of help for training and the IWS Masters. And then we're going to hear from Bjorn Wissel, who's a coordinator for IWS, and who will also talk to you about training. So we're going to start, first of all, with what's new. As Christophe was saying, there are new accreditations this year. So there have been a number of changes to masters and the H2O graduate school training programs. So there are 11 master's programs and engineering school programs presented here. So from 20 programs, we've moved up to 22 with 6 creations. So new programs that have been created. So the Integrated Watershed Sciences program, created by a whole consortium of people from H2O'Lyon. So you'll hear about those. And then 5 other programs, one focusing on risks and environment, and that focuses on the governance of urban and water risks. So masters on the environment and biodiversity. So one on the ecology of the Anthropocene and urban development and diversity and water. One on environmental genomics. Then there will be another master's that was created, the SOAC Masters, that looks at the fundamentals of water and ocean physicochemistry, and then a EGMA Masters, so on water sciences, and that's in collaboration with the FES University, and it looks at water in the Mediterranean basin, so we have collaboration with that university, as I said. So these new programs are going to make it possible to diversify the training offer and to add things that were missing. So disciplines that we didn't have in the past have been added. So these new programs also mean that we're moving more towards integrated watershed management, and that's why we have the IWS Masters that has been created. So this was thought through by the steering committee of the H2O graduate school. So it's about collective work. And before that, many people who belong to the H2O'Lyon community worked on the idea. So it's a collective effort, and Barbara is dying to tell us more about it. Sorry, you've given them a spoiler. Yes, thank you very much, Claire-Lise. So I'll be presenting for H2O'Lyon. I'll be talking about the MA, and Bjorn is the co-coordinator of M2. So I'll be talking about the first year of master's courses, and he will be talking about the second year of master's courses. As Claire-Lise was saying, this program, the IWS program, was designed and then built and is now being promoted by different things and different people. So we have a multidisciplinary team, as you can see. It's a very creative team, a dynamic team, that have made all of this possible. So there are different labs involved, different institutions involved. And these are the photos of people who have been on the front line, but then there are also people from the research world, but outside of the research world as well. So, as Claire-Lise was saying, so the Integrated Watershed Sciences program covers 7 masters from Lyon 1 and Lyon 2 universities, along with engineering schools, the INSA and TPE. So this means that we've got students from all walks of life, different disciplines, so potentially We're going to have a catchment area with geographers, economic students, microbiology, engineering science, because the aim, as Christophe was saying, the aim is really to encourage exchanges between disciplines so that we can rise to the challenges linked to water management and water science. So what we're offering through our program are two things. So the first year, so a very small module for students from different masters associated with IWS, so they can choose this a module. And then for M2 students, so second year students, so for M1 students, they can find out what it's like to work as part of a multidisciplinary team, how to do research as part of a multidisciplinary team. And in the second year, they can focus more on concepts and build on their skills for developing sustainable solutions faced with the challenges linked to water management and water research. So it's the whole H2O community that's involved, the whole basin that's involved, all of the labs in Lyon involved, professors from the water world who are part of our network. And of course, we're trying to open up to the outside world. The idea at the end of the program is to continue on to postdoctoral studies, because we're giving them skills that they can use already in the working world if they decide not to go on to a PhD stage. So in M1, the students are registered for a specific discipline, so they go further into that discipline in their first year. And we offer them an IWS module, and we'll hear more about that straight away. So there's a multidisciplinary workshop, and there's a focus on international mobility. In the second year, so we've got our cohort of students who have been following the IWS program, and then there will be courses in the first half year that are multidisciplinary, cross-disciplinary, so that the students can build up their bases and focus on their future internship projects. And Bjorn will tell us more about that. Now, with respect to the M1 module, the IWS module, so the students sign up, they've registered for their own program, their own course, but if they want to find out more about water management, they can join us through this IWS module, because one of the first activities is about taking part in a multidisciplinary workshop during the first half year. So this is 3 days of activity linked to water sciences. So it involves field work, laboratory analyses, seminars, scientific seminars, but also meetings with water managers. The aim of all of this is to get them used to working as part of a group in a specific multidisciplinary context, so that there can be a lot of exchanges between people from different walks of life. So this year we did it with our M1 cohort, who had chosen the IWS program. So they said it was a good experience, so we decided to continue it. And we were in the Dom from the 20th to the 24th of October, and it was a great experience. We all came back very enthusiastic about the time we spent together. And we have some of our students who followed the module who are with us in the room, and they can pay witness to that. So the M1 cohort involves tutoring as well, linked with a PhD student who acts as a mentor or a tutor from the H2O'Lyon community. The aim of the tutoring is to help the students in their first year, to find out more about the life of a researcher, what is it all about, and what's it like to work in a laboratory, so they can find out, what it's like to work in a laboratory and be part of a graduate school community. So it's about meetings from time to time between the PhD student, the tutor, And the student, they can talk about research, they can talk about data collection in the field, they can talk about lab analyses, they can talk about the preparation of conferences, etc. So this year, we have 5 students, M1 students from Lyon 1, Lyon 2, and the Mines University in Saint-Étienne and another university in Saint-Étienne, and they have been working with the tutors, so the H2O PhD students who are acting as tutors. So they are working with the IWS and different organizations. And a last aspect concerns international mobility. We're also offering our M1 students who have chosen to do that module to have some international experience, academic experience or experience linked to their internship in the second half year. So from 4 to 6 months. So they have the network, they can get in contact with labs or other international partners. And they can perhaps apply for financial support. So if you think about our students this year and what they want, well, we're helping them to build a professional project that will be worth its weight in salt. Yes, thank you, Barbara.
The program of Integrated Watershed Sciences. And so I will just give you a bit more information about the details of the project, the different teaching units, and then the cluster project, and also the joint master's project. So the program in the first semester has 7 teaching units, and and I was going to briefly go through and just give you a bit more background what the students are experiencing and where they also participate and bring in their own knowledge and expertise. So it's really more an exchange as just straight teaching. The first one is challenges in water sciences, and that is meant to be an introductory course about water sciences, the water cycle, the structure, types, and functioning of different hydrosystems, and also challenges to water systems. Again, because the students come from different backgrounds, we just want to make sure that everyone has the same level of knowledge as it comes to water sciences. And the second teaching unit is it's very small. Inter and transdisciplinary and the idea here is about exploring the interface between the different disciplines that relate to water. And so from in this case, just as shown in the symbol here, energy, food, water. So there's always a nexus. Of course, there's also social sciences, law, all these different disciplines are relevant, and we're looking at the interface of those. Part of the teaching unit is also interviews with practitioners, so again, trying to understand how different practitioner stakeholders relate to water and how we can engage with them. And also case studies within the H2O'Lyon network, again, working with practitioners, having a very broad diverse knowledge is absolutely critical, and that's one of the main goals of the program. The next teaching unit is disciplinary basis. As I mentioned, the first unit provides a broad overview of water sciences, but again, many other disciplines are absolutely relevant for water. So here we cover hydrology, social sciences, law, ecology, toxicology. So again, trying to understand trying to again bring in knowledge that all relates to water, and for generally the pattern for all these teaching units is to bring in experts. So it's not that one person teaches a whole unit. We have individual specialists who come in for a number of lectures to interact with the students and share the knowledge. So to this point, it's more similar to a teaching environment where we provide new knowledge to the students in an interactive fashion. And part of the program is also to have very active participation. Teaching Unit 4 is cross-disciplinary issues, and here the students are actually organizing 3 separate events. For example, this afternoon there will be a workshop with PhD students. So this is organized by the master students, by this cohort that we have this year. There will be another a seminar organized for different stakeholders, and also a public event with the museum, the Confluence. So again, also trying to organize these events at different levels for different audiences, so they learn, understand the different ways how we interact, how we communicate, and how we organize events, from contacting potential participants, speakers, to organizing the venues. It's a complete situation for this. The next teaching units is the supervised project, and this is really the preparation for the master's thesis. We really want the students to work together based on their different disciplines, together with a stakeholder. So we used this teaching unit to develop the connections with stakeholders that were within H2O'Lyon, were pre-selected, but now we are in the stage of making the connections, defining the overall project that is of value to the partners, and where the students can participate based on their discipline, learn on everyone else's discipline, and then this will then lead into the individual master's projects, again as a cluster project. And the sixth teaching unit is about techniques and methods. Having knowledge, understanding, and recognizing problems is one part of the puzzle, but we need to have the right tools to answer, to find solutions to that. And in today's world, everything from modeling to very specific technology analysis to GIS. So this teaching unit provides the background information so everyone knows what are the tools out there to find the right solutions. And then if anyone or several have to go in deeper, then they have a starting point and can develop those techniques in more depth. Of course, we cannot develop the complete background and applications of all the techniques within one teaching unit, but after this, everyone knows what are the common state-of-the-art methodologies that can be used. So having the understanding of it, the next step is, okay, I just need to go deeper in it, but that's just the typical step we all do as researchers. So again, everything related to water and natural sciences, social sciences in general is part of that. The final teaching unit for this current semester 3, is communication and application. Again, learning real-world techniques. Science communication is absolutely critical. 20, 30 years ago, we really didn't communicate our science, or at least we didn't communicate it well. If we don't tell people why it's important and why things have to change, we are not getting very far. And since we are short in time to, for example, solve the current climate crisis, biodiversity crisis, communication is critical. So in this teaching unit, we focus on different types of communication. So how to develop a poster or a presentation or a workshop, and how do we target different audiences. We can target the general public, we can target stakeholders, we can target academics. So again, it's really intricate to find the right way to communicate, otherwise the message may be lost. And so again, so this summarizes all the teaching units, and we hope provides a very broad envelope of training and understanding of water sciences in a interdisciplinary way. That's kind of the purpose of this first semester. The fourth semester is the master's thesis, or the 6 months research project. And again, it is a cluster project, so all the students in the cohort work together on one larger big picture project. Each individual student takes on a component based on their individual background, and we work with a partner. In this case, actually it comes after, right? Sorry. I kind of jumped the. Oh, it's okay. I think you covered this already, so I think it's okay. And for the sake of time, for the master's project, the purpose is again to develop this cluster project. And for our first year, we selected from several applications to work with Ville Aménagement Durable and Gray to identify a project, again, that benefits, is of value to our partners, where the students learn, and so having a win situation. The third win would be for the program, that is successful, and again, everyone learns based on their own discipline, but again, also on the disciplines of others. So wondering, since I talked a lot about these things already, I don't want to repeat myself too much. One point, I guess, that I would like to mention. This year, we have our first cohort, and it's relatively small compared to the capacity of the program. It's by design, so we can learn and we can adjust and tweak to be even better in the future. And I also have to say it's a fabulous cohort. Students are so engaged and curious and participate. It's absolutely fabulous. So I definitely have very high hopes for the future. If you all got this little flyer in your handout. There's more in it, but I suggest to talk to the students directly. All 6 of them are actually here, so maybe you just kind of, I don't want to point you out, but I'll point you out. Maybe you can kind of wave. So there are 6 of them. So if you have any questions about their experience, because we have plans how we want to set this up, but ultimately the students, how they experience this and how they value this is much more important, and how they succeed in life. So I invite you to talk to them about their experiences so far and any kind of feedback. And I think at this point I covered most of it, so thank you.
So we'll close on this new elements part, then we get back to this master. In addition to the RWS master, we are working with the other EUR masters to propose new features, and this year we had 2 innovative modules initiated, which are trying to establish a link between research and education and research, and very much like for IWS to be in innovative training. Well, there is a module for archaeology and continental hydro systems, and so there is a whole group working on this. This is on-site work which combines reverse pedagogy and site research. And you can go and see Jean-François, we'll discuss that. Then there will be one module initiated on water management in a One Health concept with Veta AgroSup. And this is supported by H2O'Lyon and open to all students from the EUR Masters, in addition to the students of the veterinary school. Then there is a summer school project with the Zabre that will take place in June on the Ain River, which is being organized. Great project as well. Online training project on the rivers and cities we'll try to organize online training module, agile with small video, very much like a MOOC, and this is what you will be presented afterwards. What will be presented afterwards in training, we work for the PhD students, and you will hear about the Doc H2O evenings and the Objective Pro days. For all this, we have little time for questions. If you got something about the master you'd like to address. I'm coming. Thank you for the presentation. I found this most interesting, the idea of mentoring between does it provide ETCS to the students? I mean, PhD schools will pay for this activity, which is very good in terms of education. Do we get European credits? As a mentor, do we get European credits? It is taken into account as training hours in the courses. Well, anyway, we could ask for the PhD schools. They're open to that. Yeah, we could actually. It could be a case. And we're working with PhD schools. We communicate to them in the steering committee. They are represented from the PhD schools, and we could get that validated, absolutely. Bjorn, je me demande
what to include in the techniques and skills section. There's so many different topics. Was there a survey of the people involved on what are the focus there, and then does that get modified?
So for each teaching unit, we have one or several responsible teachers. And this unit is led by Anne-Christelle Bettevier and Sandrine Schau. And they both have a very quantitative background, modeling and ecological applications. So between the two of them, they decided what to include and then identified the respective teachers for those individual components. So there is some autonomy within the teaching units. It's not all prescribed from top down. So the teaching units were defined with the general objectives, but then the content was filled by those responsible in collaboration and with a larger team.
From the H2O part, following all the different teaching units, I can complete the response of Bjorn. So actually, it's a sort of parallel to the disciplinary basis in teaching unit 3. So the Anne-Christelle and Sandrine, they decided to have a sub-module where they have a broad overview of the different methods and techniques that for each disciplines related to water science we can see. So, for instance, they do some GIS work. They've been on the field to collect some sample in water quality and also in geomorphology. They also had some initiation to quantitative and qualitative surveys and so on. So, I mean, it's mainly a matter of letting them know that they exist, the tools. Also, with their own background, they can feed the classes as well, and then I mean, it's not our aim to give them a complete knowledge of all the tools that exist.
But there were hours and hours and days of meetings where all these things were fine-tuned and discussed among a large group of teachers. So yeah, it's. But I think we're good now.
Yeah.
Peut-être un dernier point à préciser.
Maybe one last point before we move on. You did see in the slides there is a call for expression of interest for cluster trainings. So this is essential for our colleagues. We will disseminate this information in next spring. You will have to fill in the document, and we'll come back to you to talk and to discuss the feasibility of the projects that you may propose that we can build together. So this could be a point that could be discussed during a lunch or another time. But it's a key point in the process of the training, because 4 students will work on a given project with partners, and all this will be built as the group did this year, let's say in the first semester. Yes, this is how we selected the projects with city, sustainable development, and the GRAE. We'll continue this. Thank you very much. Let's move on to the next step. Let's speed up a bit because we're somewhat late. We some kind of running late, and those are things we presented already. So we want to discuss it again. As explained in the presentation by Christophe, 2 labels do exist for to bring to the 4 students who are good. There is a label, a master label, and a PhD label. Masters are all for all students in the EUR who are interested in water issues or problematics and who want to open up to research or interdisciplinarity and international scopes. Students can apply, and then they can perform the label. What does it mean? Basically, 2 years to achieve the label. What do they get? Well, they have access to interdisciplinary classes of the EUR H2O'Lyon. They can be involved in a summer school type program. They may get support for international mobility. They are invited to the H2O'Lyon EUR events, including that for PhD students. Then from the master, they can start networking with other students, with professionals, or at the actual level, and we provide support for mobility and summer school. That's a system initiated in 2019, which is growing slowly but surely. We had the 4th labeled students. Some who've achieved the label, and then we've got 14 labels in progress. Again, we want to grow and we want to include more and more students in this approach, in this process. Then there is a thesis or PhD label, which is granted once the person has been granted the PhD. So they have to demonstrate excellency in their research, ability to valorize their work at the actual level, and the openness to interdisciplinarity and to the socio-economic world, and to distinguish them and acknowledge their expertise. Once they've had their PhD, they can apply on file. Well, it is open throughout the year for researchers who are present and PhD students. If you got individuals who support and fit this, comply with such criteria, well, talk to them to promote the label. Today they will hand over 5 labels. You do it with me, Barbara? Okay, so. Anne-Lise Boyer from the EVS lab. Her thesis concerned from the OSS city to the desert city, the urban adaptation to water scarcity in Phoenix and Tucson, Arizona. So we want to give her the certificate for the quality of the thesis, the level of expertise, our ability to contribute to creative and collective research, and for international valorization of this research project. Congratulations, Anne-Lise. come down, and Lise, come down and get your prize. For each, you will get a little present, so that to invite you to continue in the high quality work and open-mindedness. Then, a diploma. Congratulations, Anne-Lise. Now, second student who got the label, Sylvia Flaminio. She did a lab thesis in the EVS. Title is How to Represent Dams, Development, Contracts and Controversies. This was, we appreciate the level of expertise, the ability to interact with the discipline and with socio-economic partners for the research and the international valorization. This has been actually highly approved by the EUR H2O'Lyon. Sylvia, congratulations. Come down. So, again, beautiful review and a tote bag to be, and of course, a diploma. There you go. Third one, Camille Ban was supposed to be with us. Unfortunately, cannot be with us, but you will, like for all the others who achieved the label, they have a poster. They displayed their posters, their thesis work, their PhD work, and their career, and you can discuss it with them. This is concerned the INRA reversal on inorganic matter and inorganic contaminant interaction in the treatment solution deposits in water based on nature. He acted with socio-economic partners for multidisciplinary research, which he valorized internationally. So he's also getting the H2O'Lyon label. And then Kevin Maskiewski, who is also at the INRA reversal for processing of wastewater in planted vertical flow filters or trickling filters. Yeah. He interacted with partners, socio-economic partners during the PhD study, which was considered as a highly multidisciplinary. It is a CIFRE PhD, and all the works have been valorized by publication. Kevin, please do come down and get the... And Juliette Becquet, who delivered the presentation this morning. And we wanted to give her the label, to grant her the label for her ability to interact with socio-economic partners, as you've seen, the work with the the engineering office, innovative research, and her ability to disseminate research in different spheres. She was involved in several interview video formats. It's available on the internet, and she valorized her research through beautiful international publications, articles. Juliette, congratulations. Now, we'll have a group photo. So please do come and get together. Congratulations to you all.